Let's talk about comparatives and superlatives. The red bird is pretty. The yellow bird is prettier than the red bird. The blue bird is the prettiest of all. We use adjectives to give us more information about nouns or pronouns, or to modify nouns or pronouns. Wow, that's a pretty red bird. Notice both red and pretty are adjectives that describe the noun bird. We use comparative adjectives to compare a quality or a characteristic of two nouns. The yellow bird is prettier than the red bird. We use superlative adjectives to state which noun has the most of the quality or the characteristic of the basic adjective, as in, the bluebird is the prettiest of all. The basic adjective is pretty, the comparative is prettier, and the superlative is prettiest. And don't forget, technically, there is only one superlative. So people who say they have two best friends are grammatically incorrect. Now, the rules to form the comparisons are pretty straightforward when it comes to adjectives with one syllable. If the adjective has one syllable and ends in a consonant, you're just going to add ER. The blue car is cheaper than the red car. Base adjective was cheap. If the adjective has one syllable and ends in E, we just add R. An elephant is larger than a giraffe. Base adjective, large. Adjectives with one syllable that end in Y, we drop the Y and add IER. Phoenix is drier than Albuquerque. Base adjective, dry. Now, the rules get a little more complicated if our adjective has two syllables. If it ends in Y, we drop the Y and add IER. The actor is uglier than his son. The base adjective is ugly. If the adjective has two syllables and it ends in an E, again we add R. Trixie is gentler than Fluffy. Most other adjectives that have two syllables will use the word more, as in, Jose is more careful than Trent. It would be improper to say carefuler, and the base adjective is obviously careful. However, there are exceptions because we're talking about English. Some other adjectives with two syllables do use the ER form. This alley is narrower than the other. If the adjective has more than two syllables, the rule is easy. We're just going to use the word more. This actress is more beautiful than the other one. And final note about comparisons. When we make a comparative sentence, we use the word than with an A, never with an E. Special comparison forms, the words good and bad. This option is better than the other, or this choice is worse than the other. Same thing with little and the adjectives many, much, or some. They too have a special form. Little becomes less, and many, much, and some become more. This cup has less water than the other. That shot was more painful than the first. Notice we never use both more and a comparative adjective. This is always wrong to say more better, more uglier, more faster, or any other more plus a comparative. And I understand the urge when we want to be emphatic, but restrain yourself. Now, to form superlatives, we follow basically the same format. Adjectives with one syllable are easy. If it ends in a consonant, we just add est. The blue car is the cheapest on the lot. And notice I have to add the word the in front of the superlative. Adjectives with one syllable that end in e, we add st. The blue whale is the largest animal on earth. Adjectives with one syllable that end in y, we drop the y and add iest. The Atacama Desert in Chile is the driest place on earth. Two syllables, again, we're going to have the same basic rules. If the adjective ends in e, we add an r, as in Bea is the gentlest cat I've ever had. If it ends in y, add iest. The actor is the ugliest person here. Now, most other adjectives with two syllables, we're going to use the word most. Bernadette is the most careful. Again, there are some other adjectives with two syllables that do follow the basic rule and add est, as in, this alley is the narrowest in the city. Back to an easy rule, if the adjective has more than two syllables, use the word most. This actress is the most beautiful in the world. Special superlative forms for good and bad. This option is the best. This choice is the worst. The same thing with little and many, much, or some. This cup has the least water. That shot was the most painful. But wait, what if they are the same? Then we use as around our adjective, as in Gabriel is as smart as Max. You could also use the word same, as in the boys are the same height. We could use all to emphasize the size that we're talking about, as in the oranges are all the same color. If you do the PowerPoint, you can practice these on your own. Thanks for watching.